How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another After Action Report with RONIN 47R here, taking a look at the Tier 6 SU-100, which is the Russian tank destroyer. It's been a while since I've taken this thing for a spin, but I wanted to go ahead and dust it off and continue grinding a little bit. And today we are on Abbey at night, but let's go ahead and take a look at the game mode before we get into the actual game. Standard battle. In this game mode, there are two flags, and each team spawns near their own. The objective is to either eliminate the opposing team completely or capture their flag within 15 minutes to claim victory. I got to tell you, this tank is a really good tank, but it was a lot more enjoyable once I finally had the full package, the largest gun. Not a big fan of the smaller caliber, quick reload type of guns in general. When it comes to a Russian tank, I kind of expect a Russian gun, and this one does pack a better punch. Now, this particular game, you know, I'm not going to tell you I'm going to get a Top Gun medal or anything super crazy, but I felt like it was a pretty good, average for me, run-of-the-mill game where the key component was fun. I mean, that's why I play. It was really a good time. So I went ahead and, you know, I've been doing a lot of heavy tanks and that sort of thing, and I had to really change my brain, you know, to get back into the tank destroyer mentality. So I'm using some vegetation. Granted, there's some gaps in that vegetation, but I'm attempting to use the vegetation to see what's coming around that corner there. I am not platooned up, and I have one buddy going forward, and he's a little up on that hill or that uprising there to my right. And so he's doing a little bit of spotting, which is a good thing. I could not believe how many people were still at our base. So as you can imagine, I was figuratively biting my my nails in concern here, because I'm thinking, what are these guys doing? Now we have a tank destroyer that is coming down. It is a Hellcat, and we also have a medium tank showing up as well. And you can see that the tank destroyer is on the other side. My medium tank may or may not be able to have eyes on. I am not sure, but we do have somebody coming down in my neck of the woods. So I'm kind of just waiting. You know, I don't want to brawl in this tank. It's hard to go left and right, and don't have a turret to play with. Okay, so now we've got some sixth sense. We've got detected. I do have the one artillery, so I'm a little concerned. I'm going to play conservative. Again, I'm trying to get back in the mode of tank destroyer style, so I'm a little rusty. Nothing too much is going on right now. Little artillery drops that I'm being evading there. Now, the medium tank is no more, and as you can see, they are hauling, or at least one for sure is hauling down this line here. And I'm thinking, well, this is going to be a quick game. So I'll just try to get in position. I see these guys up there that are just coming down the hill. Hopefully those guys will distract this guy when he comes around the corner. So I just needed some distance, and you're going to see here I try to minimize my exposure. Hopefully the A20 and the rest of them that are finally waking up will distract this guy. But he doesn't come around the corner, so he's not, you know, he's not pulling a noob move and just rushing it. You know, something I would do. He is kind of taking his time. Now, meanwhile, you've got a medium tank that has come to back him up. And all we have around the corner is the A20, which is at least giving us some intel. Got a medium tank over here, still at the base to my right, which is to the far north. And I guess he's posting up for some defense to guard the artillery and the flag. I don't really know what his thought processes was. Now, I'm being spotted probably from the rear, but I figure there's enough greens that I got to do what I got to do. So I got a hit off this guy, 417, and now the Tier 5 medium M4 is down. Now we have a Tier 6 Hellcat, great view range, great tank, and I just missed it. Just a little slow on either the trigger pull or the reload. Kind of curious to see how this guy's gonna work it here. I don't know. And I fired, but either I missed or it bounced. I believe it was a miss. But he got me for almost half my health. Now he's busy with the A20. I'm going to take advantage of that. And he's done. Alright, so now I see there's some folks coming in on the other side of our flag. Coming up and over the hill. So I got to get in position for that. And notice I'm going to use the dead M4 as some cover. I didn't know how far forward they're going to push. And I was, possibly get lucky for the top of the turret there, but just not enough height, just not enough elevation in the topography that I was sitting on. So I decided, hey, I got to go forward. Now you can see quickly the guys on the green and the red have disappeared. I really don't even know what went on with the rest of the game. But they all of a sudden disappeared, and it is 10-9, so it's very close. And it seems like a lot of the battle is going to occur here. Now, I have just the tip of the KV-1S showing above just the commander's hatch, but he went in reverse and below the horizon there. Now, we're all going to gang up on him. I'm going to take advantage of that. Want to get my gun into play as quickly as possible. Not only to help the team, but of course to get the score. A little concerned about what's behind me, a little concerned what's to my left. I don't know where the bad guys are. We don't have many folks, poking around. So, gotta do what I gotta do. Went after the KV-1S, but someone else took care of him, which is fine. And I'm waiting any second for someone to be rushing the flag, to be honest. I'm really surprised that we're not getting any attention over here. So I'm gonna post up. I figure I can use the building to my left to block any incoming folks from the east. Was trying to get some cover there. Excuse me, some concealment with those bushes, seeing if anybody comes down through the city. But just nothing's happening. I mean, it is just dead quiet. All quiet on the western front, or in this case, it's the eastern front. So the A-20, I believe, is the one that is still going south to get some eyes on. Might be looks, I'm not sure, but it's one of the light tanks. And he sees something. And it is a tank destroyer. So it looks like he's in a defensive position. The T-34-85 is either AFK or he's just very hard set on watching the east. And that's fine. I need to get my gun in the action, so I'm going to go ahead and head south. Now, my light tank, the A-20, is no more. He has been killed by the tank destroyer. So we only have one light tank left. Now this guy is spotted again, the tank destroyer there, camping out near his flag. But we still have 3 other tank destroyers that are unaccounted for. And, granted, some of them are slow, but some of them are fast. And again, I'm really surprised that nobody has come out and tried to take the flag, or at least take some pop shots from the east. But I got to go with the sure thing. I do not want to let these guys scatter out, my green team get too separate, and have this tank destroyer pick them apart, let alone his friends, the missing 3 tank destroyers, pick them apart. Alright, so that medium tank to the west, the southwest, is taking a hit from that tank destroyer. Didn't have any angles from the road, so now I'm going to head up here and see if I can peek around. But this is where, not having a clue or being rusty on this map, shame on me, I just wasted a lot of time. There is no way to get a shot on the southern flag from that angle, and I wasted a lot of valuable time. This is where knowing your maps really helps. Alright, so there you go, AT-8. It's a pretty tough tank, but if you hit it in the right spots, it will hurt. So I just rolled a 380 off the AT-8, which is a great thing. It's 247 meters away. We are using a Russian gun. It's not a long distance. And there's the bounce. I was just going to say, it's not a long distance, but Russian guns are not known necessarily for their accuracy, tank destroyer or not. Now I went ahead and took a blind fire just because. Might get lucky. Sitting still, trying to maintain my my concealment there, and hoping someone would spot him. But nothing was happening, so I went ahead and repositioned. Alright, so now we're down to a heavy tank, a medium tank, and myself. And looks like everybody's on the western side of me. And we only have 3 enemy left, so yes, it's 3-3, but not knowing where they are makes me very uncomfortable. I keep taking a peek because I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. The east side is just that dead. I mean, gosh. Well, the same guy keeps appearing and reappearing, or disappearing and reappearing. So at least we see him, but like I said before, I don't know where the other 2 are. He has some pretty darn good armor, so I'm not really holding my breath, and these guys aren't really doing much. They're pretty static as far as what they're doing. I'm taking a position. I'm just, you know what? I'm just flipping the coin. Whatever. You got to do what you got to do. So I'm really sticking it out here. No cover, no concealment. And I'm just hoping that this guy is going to go ahead and show up. I went ahead and distanced myself from the building behind me and the wall in front of me because I had the feeling that I was going to need to rotate in one direction and get out of there very quickly. So that's why I measured forward and backward. There he is, but he's on the other side of the rock, which does nothing for me and does not enable me to help my team. I don't think the AT-8 is too afraid of the barely alive, T-3485. So he doesn't prove to be too much of an intimidating factor against that tank destroyer. Letting him know I'm going to try to get into position here. Heavy tank's coming up to assist. I don't like that they're, I'm not blaming anyone, but I just wish that I could be covering them while they're making their move. However, they're just going to do what they're going to do on their own timeline. I'm trying as fast as I can to get in position to cover these guys, because once these guys are done, there will be no distractions for me. There will be no spotting for me. It'll just be me. So I need them just as much as they need me. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to come around and flank this guy because the AT-8 definitely has eyes on the medium and the heavy, and he hasn't noticed me. So let's see if I can take advantage of that. Now the medium tank is doing the exact same thing. There we go. He never looked to his left, if you noticed. What I'm doing is and he went out a lot deeper than I did. Now I'm going just far enough, and look at that. That should have been a dead to rights kill. Did not work out. I only have 6 cents going on, so someone can see me. I'm taking a look, and abracadabra, there's somebody there. But this is what I do. I just say, who cares? I got to take this guy out now. How often am I going to have an AT-8 giving me its rear? So I needed to take advantage of it now and risk and hope that if I did get shot, it would still leave me alive to fight on. Now it's 2 on 2. They know where I am. I believe they know where the heavy is. It's 2 tank destroyers, and I don't have the gun depression. I mean, I need to really go up the hill and then come down in order to get a shot on these guys. There is no way that I'm going to fight these guys like a gun duel. So I'm going to go ahead and flank again, further going east. I'm half expecting them to figure that one out, but apparently they are just watching the heavy, so I'll take advantage of that. And there goes the American Tier 4 T-40 tank destroyer. Open cockpit, open turreted type of vehicle. Very easy to give some damage to. And there goes the heavy tank taking out the SU-100. And that's the game. So the KV-1 did his part on the west side. I did the east side, and it's another good flanking game. Nothing really to brag about. I mean, 27,500 for silver. But, I was taking advantage of that 5 times multiplier, which is 7,070 for experience. Had it not been for the multiplier, it would have been a so-so game. But even though I came in 4th, I enjoyed it because I contributed. All right, guys, let's take a look at what I have for you at the end of this video. Check this out. Okay, girls, tell them who they are if they're receiving this transmission.
You are one of the 47 Ronin. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.